with another instalment of What They Mean to Me. Today I'm joined by Al.
Hello.
And so, Shed 7, why?
Oh, well, it all started back. They do Shedsember every year. Well, every other year. It's like every two. Back in 2015, Spiral Carpets were supporting. Now I was like just getting into all my indie music, like I love the Stone Roses, all that kind of thing. My dad was like, "Oh, they're playing in Wrexham, which is about an hour away from here." Like, "Oh, we're playing in Wrexham, but it's a band called Shed 7, but they're in Spiral Carpets are supporting. If you want to come, I've got a spare ticket." So I was like, "Yeah, all right, why not? Like, I'll come. I've always wanted to see the Spiral Carpets, yada yada." So little me, 15, toddles off on like a school night and watch Shed 7, and yeah, they just I think I've been to every Shedsember since, and I think I've seen them 14 times since.
Jesus.
It's become a bit sad. They they know who I am, kind of sad level now.
It's not necessarily a bad thing though. I'm sure they're quite thankful for it, really.
Yeah, I mean I've got 7 Shed 7 t-shirts, I think. I've got one off every tour I've been on. Every gig I've been to. I had to re-buy the one from 2015 off like eBay. But yeah, I've got a t-shirt for everyone. I've got a maraca signed. It's unhealthy to some extent.
No, there's probably worse fans out there for like massive bands, isn't there? Like,
yeah, I'm not quite at like the groupie point, but I have seen, like, I've met Rick a few times through different things. I met him on a train once. Like, that was completely accidental. I was literally just on a train up north, and obviously they're from York, and I was heading that way, and literally like a full, what they call Trans-Pennine Express, big old train, massive thing. And I walked down the platform, got on, and funnily enough, I looked like death. I'd got like my hair scraped back. I put one of my Shed 7 t-shirts on, which is my Tesco version one, just with like a pair of leggings and trainers, because I was really did look like, no, it was awful. And I got on the train and I put my case up on the top, and when you take a double take at something and you're like, it's that. And then I turned around and Rick Witter's just sat there with all his family on the train, and I'm just studying with Shed 7 t-shirt. So we ended up chatting and got a photo and all that. But I've met him quite a few times, but that was the weirdest one to manage to jump onto.
Sure you weren't like stalking or something, like no, tracking him or something.
You just can't believe your luck. When I was like, you're just getting on a train. I did it all the time. Been on countless trains in the last however many years, and I managed to get on the right carriage at the right time and sit the seat behind him in my Shed 7 t-shirt.
That's funny. It is weird how life throws things like that at you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, I'm a bit superstitious with stuff like that anyway, but that was a bit like, whoa, this is weird. This is really weird.
It's kind of like well, I was at Glastonbury once, and I was just watching Haim, I think, or however you say it, and like it's just turned to my left, and obviously Glastonbury is massive. Just turned to my left, and there was like Andrew Garfield just stood there, which is really weird. I was like,
yeah,
why are you here? Like, not even like in like the backstage, but just in the general crowd.
Just stood in Glastonbury.
Yeah, just in like, it was like wet weather gear on. It was really weird.
It's just strange how things like that happen. It's like it's not. It can't be coincidences. I refuse to have it down to a coincidence when you just sort of be in the right place at the right time.
That was weird. It was a double take. I was like,
no, never is.
Obviously, they've been around for quite a while now.
Yeah, a lot longer than me.
and me, I think. So, what's your favourite song?
Oh, gee. Oh, this is like
throwing that right out there.
Oh, I should have really thought about this beforehand. No, that's like picking between children. That's really tough. It's like It depends, because from their older stuff, oh god, I'm really, because obviously they released a new album in 2017. My favourite song on there is Victoria, which is one of the less sort of spoken about songs. They never do it live. They haven't done it live to my knowledge, and I go to most gigs, so if I've missed it, I've done really badly. That's my favourite there. My favourite all time. I know it really is cliche, but my favourite all time is probably. I was going to go really cliche, but I'm not. I'm going to go with it's a song called High Hopes, and it's like that'll be my father-daughter dance when someone's lucky enough to marry me. That'll be mine and my dad's dance, because it's because I go to them all with my dad. That's become like our song. It's our favourite live. Everyone sings along, and it's all like, oh, it's all emotional and special.
That is nice though. I just have those like things where you can play songs with specific parts in life, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That song's massive for me. It just always reminds me of my dad whenever it comes on. My dad's like my best friend. We do everything together with music and things. So that's like our big song. That's the one that we always go to for when we're going to the gigs. It's like, oh, can't wait for High Hopes to come on.
Is it like a end of set song, or like is it charts in the middle, or they change it about?
No, it's generally pretty same. It's like I've sort of said now, I can tell you the dialogue to most Shed Sembers, as I can tell you what he's going to say before he says it.
Oh, really? Is it the same all the time, is it?
Yeah. It's relatively similar. There's like always jokes that's always cracked every time, that kind of thing. But it's usually sort of mid-set. It's never anything, but it's, they always obviously end on you chasing rainbows, of course. But the High Hopes is like it's one of those belt out ones where everyone's had a couple of beers, everyone's hugging, and like a COVID nightmare at the minute, but everyone's like hugging, and I've got like a 40-year-old man trying to wave me in the air, and we're all singing and crying, and no one knows how to feel. It's just it's a proper magic song.
But there's they're the moments that probably everyone misses at gigs at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I miss being like one of the young. It's like me. There's like tends to be like people like 40 plus generally, without being offensive. Then like me, and then like 10-year-olds like their kids. So I'm always like mid-age. So I often go. I've done a couple of the gigs with Jenna, who's my best friend. You might have seen me mention her all the time. But we do a couple of them together, and like the amount of times, because I know every word to every song, I'm one of those people that can't remember what she had for tea yesterday, but can lyrically recite you every Shed 7 song off the top of my head. And everyone always, there's every gig, someone's always like, are you even old enough to know who these are? I'm like, no, I am not.
Quite a good thing though to admit though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, they're always like, I can't believe that you know all the words. I'm like, I've probably seen them more than you, to be fair. And that's in like, well, the last one was last year, so that's like 4 years.
They did do the Christmas one last year, didn't they?
Yeah, 2015, 2017, 2019.
I think they played down here. Can't remember.
Yeah, probably. They do go a fair way round. I mean, I saw them Stoke. I've seen them everywhere. Stoke, Manchester, Dublin. I went to go to see him in Amsterdam and it got cancelled.
Christ, it's not ideal, is it?
No, it wasn't. I didn't even want to go to Amsterdam. I didn't want to go other than for the gig. That's what I was going for. It's like travel a bit and see them in different places. So I didn't want to go. So then I was stuck going. So I got in touch with. I had a bit of a whinge on Twitter, and I was a bit like, "Oh, guys, I don't really want to go to Amsterdam. I'm a bit gutted now. Like you've cancelled the gig, and I'm now stuck on a weekend away." And I'm like, my dad was like, "There's worse places to go on a weekend away than Amsterdam, Alex." I'm like, "Oh, I know, but I don't really want to. I'm not really fazed by anything else there." So they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I know it's a bit rubbish, yada yada. You've booked flights and hotels, and so that's when they invited us backstage at the Castlefield Bowl, their sort of headlining gig. That's when they got us. That's when they were like, "Oh, come backstage at this gig, we'll make it up, yada yada." So then I've got like all my photos, spoke to them all, and That's where I got the maraca signed that I got from Dublin. Been everywhere. It is cripplingly sad, and it is cripplingly expensive as well.
Yeah, but it's could spend your money on worse things though.
Well, this is it, isn't it? There's it's like when I look at how many times I've seen Shed 7 and the 2 times I've seen Stone Roses, it's probably cost the same.
Yeah, right. So, ask the favourite song. You guess what the next one is. Do you have a favourite album? Or is that like trying to pick between children again?
Yeah, I think I'd have to go Instant Pleasures, just because that's the one that came out in 2017. So that was like my era, if you will. That was sort of there. They released this new music, and I was able to go and see it, and something I never thought I'd be able to do, because I never thought they'd do it. So it was almost like I got to see it, and it was brand new to everyone. It wasn't everyone, oh yeah, I know Shed 7, I know, oh yeah, Chasing Rainbows, all that kind of thing. It was like, this is brand new to them, it's brand new to me. So we're all on a clean slate here. There's no, oh, you shouldn't know who these are. This came out way before you were born. And so we just like, it was, I think that's the one that definitely means the most to me, for that reason, really. Just that it's so relevant. It's got so much relevance in my life and so much meaning now that it just sticks with you.
It's just one of those things that they've had that much of an impact in your life where if they weren't, it would just be weird.
Yeah.
Like, now they're there. It's just like, that's bad. So one of the next one was, have you seen them live? Which,
just a few times.
Skip that one. But shall I change it and be like, what was the best time you've seen them?
Castlefield Bowl. It was just for an actual gig. Itself varies depending. Dublin was great because it was basically empty. They'd rescheduled a few due to Rick had got a throat infection, and this was a rescheduled gig, so everyone had like their tickets moved, and then obviously naturally most people then can't go because they've got alternative plans. So it was next to empty, so we were stood like here and they were like there, so I was literally on the barrier. And that's where I got my maraca, because I was like screeching. And then when we went, where did I go then? I'd watched a couple of Rick DJ sets, and that's when he said like, oh no, you causing trouble down the barriers in Dublin. I was like, yep, that's me. Knows me as Alex now. We went to see him in Manchester. Yeah, Manchester, in Bowlers in Manchester. He did a DJ set there. I go every year anyway to Manchester because it's a good day. But he came down like, oh, it's Alex, and then swore at me. He's like, oh, it's Alex, it's Alex. And I was like, yeah, it's me. He knows who I am. But yeah, Castlefield Bowl is 100% got to be my favourite gig, because it was just magical. The sun was absolutely blaring. It's like 30 odd degrees. Reverend and the Makers were supporting, the Twang was supporting. It was a cracking lineup. The sun was out. It was my dad. Beers were flowing, and it's such a cracking sound in that venue. It is absolutely remarkable, the sound in Castlefield Bowl, because we were like right up back. Like, me and Dad aren't really in amongst it kind of people. We're more sit back quietly with a pint in hand.
I think I've hit that bit now. I used to be when my younger days, but now I just sort of go for watching them rather than
go for the music now, not the it's like when I used to go to see the Cortinas all the time. It's like, God. It's getting amongst it, and now I'm like, nope, I'll stand quietly at the back. These pints are too expensive.
I've got work tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing now, isn't it? It's like people are like, oh, I've got work tomorrow. I can see them like absolutely dead. I'm like, no, not a chance. Not a chance of I doing that.
So what do you like expect from them in the future?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm hoping they're releasing a new like live album at the minute. So I'm I'm hoping for new music, to be honest. It doesn't feel like a million miles away. It doesn't feel like it's unreasonable request. But at this point, given the world circumstances, I'd just take a gig. Just take a gig. Just one. If they only ever did one again, I'd take it at this point. Just yeah, I hope they can do another album though. I mean, Instant Pleasure's got such a remarkable response that I'd be really surprised if they didn't try and push for new music. They've quite clearly still got it, if you will, for such a term. Bit of a strange way of putting it, but they've still got the talent and they've still got the relevance. So there's a lot more younger people now, younger than me, that go.
I was going to say, I feel like younger people are getting more into the guitar, indie,
100%
era rather than the I don't know, whatever's out there.
Yeah, whatever's in mainstream. It's like my go-to for mainstream is always Katy Perry. I don't think she's done a song in about 4 years, but somehow whenever I'm talking about mainstream, I'm like, yeah, like Katy Perry, and people are like, Katy Perry isn't really relevant anymore.
No.
I don't really know what's relevant.
I don't even know, it changes all the time, doesn't it? Like, it's it's a weird one.
Yeah,
Well, the other question was the best moment the band's given you.
Oh God!
But I think you might have already answered that.
Yeah, I think I probably have. To be fair, there's so many. Just every time we go, it's magical. But yeah, I think my bestest moment was, it'd have to be backstage. Like, I've got this uncanny obsession with Paul Banks. It's a little bit sad. And he knows it, because when we went to Castlefield, we like backstage, and I was like hyperventilating, seeing that I was like within so close to him. My dad was like, for God's sake, he was like, oh, and I had like a photo with us all, and he was like, Dad was like, can she have a photo with you? And he was like, yeah. Couldn't catch my breath, and he was like, you all right? And Dad was like, yeah, she's just got a bit of a crush on you. And he was like, oh. And then, so I've got a photo of you. It's the best photo ever. I've got a photo of my face, that bright red. I've got the biggest smile on my face. And I've got Paul Banks giving me a kiss on the cheek. That's probably my favourite moment.
That's one that no one will ever take away from you.
No, never washed my left cheek since. My face.
So like, yeah, like, I don't know, that's pretty incredible. Like, the reason I started this series is because I feel like people don't get to talk about their favorite band that much, about it being annoying to other people. So I thought I'd start this series where I just give people a platform to vent about whatever they can.
I could talk about Shed 7 all day. I mean, I could talk about most music, all the legends, but I could talk about Oasis, particularly Stone Roses. Have always been one that's like super special mainstream indie girl, but it's always been, I am known as Shed 7 girl to everyone.
I always remember the day I saw Oasis, and that was just like, I was at school. I was like, oh my God, it's Oasis tonight. And they're like, because back then, like, they played Bournemouth, which is weird. And like, no one ever comes down here.
No.
So that was just mad when they came in. And then it was like one of those things that everyone in the school was talking about. And it's just unreal, really. And then that was the tour they did before they split up.
Oh, crikey. Yeah, you're lucky than me. I never went. I was, 10? 2009, wasn't it? I was 10.
Yeah, sounds about right. Nice, yeah. It was weird. And it was quite cheap as well, to be fair. Well, it wouldn't have been at the time, but for now, if Oasis was that price now, it'd be mad. It was like 40 quid.
Sick thinking about how much it'd cost me now.
Yeah, I was saying, like, because it cost like 65 for Stone Roses for me at Wembley. And I was sat down.
The Etihad with being in Stoke, obviously.
and I think Street Oasis would be like 100.
Yeah,
I reckon
that's
hitting
just
that.
faith.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, my Oasis, my Stone Roses tickets, because I seen them in the Etihad first time round when I was like 17. Again,
Yeah.
with my dad.
Mm.
And then went to Leeds when they came
Oh, they
back round.
did it in the arena, didn't they? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was standing there as well. How much did that cost me? 85 quid plus booking fee, I think.
Christ.
I
Yeah,
look back now and I think, who would
and that
not?
was then.
Yeah,
That was like 3-4 years ago, wasn't it?
yeah, it must have been. Must have been 2017, I would say. I was 18, so it must have been at least 2017.
And
Maybe 2018 at a push.
you get like Cortina's charging 30, which is obviously not awful, but for like
No.
the size venues they play, it's not ideal. Like they only play like arenas up north, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
And like they always play like O2 academies down here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, I'd kill for a Cortina's gig right now.
gone off them
I
quite a
haven't
bit,
been one in years.
but like yeah, I think controversial statement
Oh.
coming out here. I think
Oh.
they're only still relevant because of how good they are live.
Oh, 100%. No, I agree with that actually. It's like I don't listen to them when I'm like, sat at home. Like they do survive a lot of which, this is probably going to be a bit of a controversial thing, but they do survive a lot of which off the mad for it, lads, let's get on the sesh kind of people. And that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that as a disclaimer.
No.
But that is a lot of the people that go to see them want the mad, bouncing, raving, beers.
But I think I know like they're trying to move on and change their sound, but I don't know, just their new album
Didn't
wasn't.
rate the new album.
I think I listened to a couple of songs. It's like, nah.
No, me and Jenna bought tickets. I bought them for a birthday, I think, to go and see like the full playthrough. I was like, oh, it'd be a good memory. The album came out. I was like, nah, let's sell them. I really don't want to go. I don't want to waste my money.
No,
it's like a Sunday night in Manchester. I thought, no, you're all right.
No, it's not ideal. It's a shame, really, but I think
is.
most people are living off St. Jude and Concrete Love and Anna and all that, like Notion all the time.
And all of those. Post them, being St. Jude, Falcon, and Anna for me. Post that. There's not much I listen to.
No. Even though saying that, the 17th is probably one of their best songs, though.
Yes, that's what I mean. They've got a couple of crackers. It's like Hanging Off Your Cloud. I think it's an absolutely remarkable
I was going to say that one. Yeah, that one's good.
But it's not like they used to produce pure album-filled class. It's a few songs on an album now, and the rest just feels a bit like space fill. I feel like I'm going to get a load of hate off Cortina's fans now.
Nah, it'll be all right. It'll come aimed at us anyway. I think you'll be all right.
It's all right then.
Yeah, just get abuse in the DMs like, why are you slagging off Cortinas? Oh, sorry.
Oh, so sorry.
For facts though, but sorry.
Yeah, I'm not taking it back, but I'll apologise.
Same with like if people like have a pop at Liam Gallagher now, it's like the last thing you want to do on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
which I don't mind him, to be fair. He's funny, isn't he? But
yeah, I go and see him and pay for his gigs and stuff. I'm not too sure on this Thames thing.
Yeah, it's a bit controversial, that, isn't it?
I can see what people are saying. I can see both sides to it. Am I going to buy it? No.
No.
Not unless
It'll
I've got
on YouTube
literally
the next day,
nothing else to do. Yeah, exactly. Unless I've got nothing else to do on the Saturday night, which I can almost guarantee I will have something better to do. I'm not going to pay 16 odd quid because I mean that for me is like a new band gig, an actual gig.
Yeah.
That's what I barely pay. I paid that for 2 tickets to go and see. I can't think where I went now. Earlier in the year, for me and Jenna. And it's sort of a bit like, oh, with all due respect, Algie, I don't want to pay to watch you on a screen. I'd sooner watch old Oasis gigs.
Yeah. Yeah. Just put Supersonic on or something.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. He's got to support the crew and what have you.
Yeah,
Not necessarily him.
That's why I think he's doing it. So I think he's probably all right, money-wise.
Yeah. I should imagine of most people, he should be doing okay during all this. The rest of us, not so much.
Yeah, the rest of the crew, I think, I get it. If money wasn't an issue to me, I'd probably do it if I knew what it was going towards.
Yeah,
but you don't, do you?
Seems very.
And I doubt it's actually live as well.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that because the boat's already been going down, hasn't
Different
it?
Time zones as well.
Suspicious.
It is, and you never know what's going to happen because I doubt he'll stand there and like if it pisses down, for example.
Yeah, never even thought of that. I don't see why he's on the Thames anyway. I can't understand the
different, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like the idea of it if it was actually. Well, you don't know if it's going to be live or not, but I don't think it is. But if it was actually live, I'd be like, yeah, it's a good idea. Fair play.
Yeah, I can't see it being live because I sort of think you're moving as well. I know you're in the centre of London, but
too many uncertainties. Like we're in the middle of a pandemic still. If that's live, then crowds.
Yeah, that's true. Never even thought of that.
In London.
Yeah. Yeah, not ideal. Never actually thought of that.
No.
Because everyone would flood down. Me personally wouldn't. But I am 4 hours away anyway, so that'd be very illegal. But
just to get a little sight. Oh, look, there he is, and go home now.
Yeah, that was fun. 8-hour round trip to look at LG on a boat. Nuts.
He's funny.
People will do it. And people will pay, and I don't blame them. I don't think it's
nothing wrong with paying it. People. I've always been in that mindset. Like it's their money, and do what they want with it.
Exactly. It's like I saw a couple of comments back just saying like, "Oh, we've got nothing better to do for me." 16.50, but I'm like, that's the first weekend lockdown is lifted. In theory, I know we'll go back to the tiers, like the tiered system or what have you, but. Trust me, I'm going to go out somewhere. I'll do something with someone that isn't not in my household. Anything, just someone. I have actually got plans for that weekend, so it's not the be all and end all of the world for me. But I can see it's hard. Like you say, it's other people's money. Why should we have a right on telling them what they can and can't spend? And clearly he must have done his research to know to even think, actually, this is going to work.
Well, I think that brings us to a close. I appreciate you coming on. It's been really, really insightful.
No, thanks for having me. I'll take any opportunity to talk about Shed 7 and music.
It's a good one. So, I appreciate you coming on. This has been the Talk Side podcast. And thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.